Yeah. Love. To Allah we belong. To Allah we return. Yo, the struggle is real. Either you start where you gon' earn. Every soul gon' taste death. But until that day, I'ma still be riding through in that spaceship, yelling, don't quit your day shift. There was times when I copped some bullshit for real, just fit to rock. Had to leave it overnight on the windowsill. There's a pecking order.
Yo. Welcome to PUWF on this fine Wednesday. I'm your host, D-Walk, and we're going to talk about NXT. Our first match, we got an Invisible Man.
Yeah, I got you. I'm here.
You hear how bad I am?
Pop back out, pop back in again. I'm here for you. Go for it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PWF and welcome to NXT Time with D-Walk. He's a wonderful person, a wonderful man, and a wonderful podcaster. What we're going to talk about today is NXT and NXT alike. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, and enjoy the madness. And while we wait for him, let's hear the sultry sounds of an altered Booker T. Now, always remember to like, subscribe, join that madness. And once again, here's the host, D-Walk.
Yo, my apologies. Welcome to... Let's talk about NXT. NXT is pretty instant Tuesday. I mean, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty, so it's getting tough. We're going to talk about our first match. Our first match is the NXT Women's Championship qualifying match. I'm sorry. Tiffany Stratton versus Kiani James. To me, it was a good match. I like Tiffany Stratton. She should be pushed way more than she should. Tiffany Stratton, she shouldn't have never ever lost the NXT title. And it would have been dope if she would have kept the title and challenged all the newbies instead of Becky Lynch wrestling all the newbies. To me, Tyra Valerie, she not ready. I don't think she was ready she ain't on the same caliber as Tiffany Stratton. But the result is we got Stratton defeating James by pinfall.
That bothers me, by the way. I'm noticing that they're giving the rub to the Valkyrie trick, and she came out of nowhere. It's like they just like the Amazon package arrived. Like, okay, well, Tiffany Stratton's not worth it anymore. Let's go. Like, why did you put it on Stratton? Why did you use Becky? And now why are you burying Tiffany when we know that when an underdog gets buried, we remember them and we kind of push them, as in an example of Damian Sandow. You might turn her into a Sandow, and that's going to make it worse for you guys if she goes put up to the main roster. Like I said, but there's no such thing as a second Sandow. So I'll always but back to you.
But my fault. I was on the wrong week.
I was wondering that. I'm like, isn't it Tiffany versus somebody else?
My bad. The first match was Akira Tozawa versus Noam Dar for the Heritage Cup title. To me,
ladies and gentlemen, we cover past and present NXT. That's what we do.
To me, like they need to give Akira Tozawa a push. I mean, and then this Heritage Cup title, what is it benefit?
Nothing.
I mean, like that trophy thing is like it's getting old, and then the rounds and everything for 3 minutes, it's getting dumb. And then how they burying Akira though? Like Akira is a good wrestler. I don't know why they burying him like that. But it goes. Noam Dar won the first one. Akira won the second one, and then Noam Dar won this last one just because he was helped. And to me, that help shit is getting old, especially in every single match. whereas somebody always getting help. Winning fair and square, you supposed to say you that wrestler and everything. So you should be getting mad at your group just for helping. Like it got to be somebody out the bunch that don't need help.
Exactly. And again, Akira Tozawa is getting. I don't watch the main roster, ladies and gentlemen. That's Joe's job, but Akira is getting heat and good heat, and I like that. Tozawa is getting that rub, and he's been there for a long ass time.
Yeah, a long time.
A long time, not long. I mean, not like long time, but like 2016 and up. So that's about like 8 years, more or less.
That's still long.
That is still long. So get the shine that he needs. And again, Noam Dar only has a good theme song, and that's it.
That's it.
Good striker. But after the match, Aura Mensa is talking trash to Akira, but Maxine slaps him. Chad Gable then suplexes him, and Otis does his splash. Good for Alpha Academy. That's all well and done. What's next?
They need to give Alpha Academy a push. Alpha Academy haven't been getting that, especially like Chad Gable worked his ass off. So did Otis. So they need that push. I mean, I want to see them win the tag team titles or something.
Exactly. You're right.
And then we got we gonna skip the Lyra Valkyrie promo and everything.
Hold up. I can say it real quick. I got this. A video Mick Foley plays, and he says he wants to talk about Tiffany Stratton and Fallon Henley, who will now complete in the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. He then says Dijak, shout out Dijak, will have to beat Tyler Bates before he can go to NXT Deadline. Lola's backstage, and she says she made her breakout tournament win memorable. She teases Kalani, who says Vice wouldn't have won without help. Roxanne comes in and says that this doesn't mean she will become a champion automatically. They exchange words and leave.
So I got a question for you. So how do you feel about Xia Li coming out of nowhere and getting a title shot? After she haven't wrestled. When last time she wrestled?
A long ass time ago. That's what I remember, like 2021.
So how did she come out of nowhere and get a title shot? I mean, like, this will kill me about wrestling. WWE nowadays, they don't have the ranking system no more on. Like, they got to have a purpose on wrestling matches. I mean, lately they have been making pointless matches that's not going nowhere instead of building to a title shot. Who anybody could come challenge Dom. Anybody could come challenge Chase U. Anybody could come challenge Dragunov. Come on, man. They got to get this system up where number one contender. They got to start doing these number one contender matches instead of anybody.
They even bringing that up because even AEW doesn't do that shit half the time now, and they're getting shitted on all the time.
Yeah, it don't make no sense where anybody could come get a title shot.
Yep.
Oh, I haven't wrestled in 2 years. I'm gonna come get a title shot. That don't make sense. I don't.
Now with Xia Li though, I will give her a little bit of credit because she was on the push when she was in that weird Asian gang. She got hurt, came back, and she has been training. I've always loved her as a prospect. She reminds me of like a female speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
In that sense. Yeah. And I wish Mike Bailey, like speedball Mike Bailey, can get, picked up in the mains. But again, that's another wrestler in another time. Find us on Thursday for that.
I mean, I don't have no issue with Xia Li. They just need to make her have some more good. They need to make her have good matches instead of her coming out of nowhere.
Damn right.
But that kick she did on who was that? Becky Lynch. That spinning kick outside the ring, like that showed me she got potential.
That is the potential that she can make or break her. Because remember, Aleister Black became famous for his kick. His darkness, his appearance, but his kick was always, everyone who sold it made it look like $1 million. Now, if you can practice the kick, if you can master the move in the sense that you can do it like an RKO out of nowhere, that is what makes you a memorable wrestler. And that's what Xia Li needs. She's been going for a long time, so she has to catch the fuck up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could see her being a better champion than Tyra Valkyrie.
Yes. Speaking of Lyra Valkyrie, actually, I have to say her name right for respect. Yeah. Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria's music plays and she comes to the ring. Lyra says she never could dream of being an NXT Women's Champion like this. She says Becky is a true legend, but she didn't just meet Lynch. She defeated her, and now the finest prize in NXT is around her waist. She says the fans made this place feel like magic. Lyra says everything about her story is true. She says the locker room is packed full of competitors who want to take the belt from her. And then we talked about Xia Li walks out. Fallon Henry is backstage, and she says she is ready for a match. Briggs and Jensen wish her luck.
This, to me, it's the whole thing. Like, a lot of the wrestlers like too nice, too friendly, and like with everybody else. What happened to that era, that Stone Cold, that Rock era, where I don't need nobody. Like, I ain't talking to y'all. Like, what happened to that era? These champions now is like watered down.
Asuka didn't have no fucking crew. Asuka was fucking Asuka. She came in a beast, left the fucking beast.
Yes.
That's all you fucking need. And right now, you're right. Lyra is just a waste of time. And you know what's sad? Looking at this from the outside in, this women's title has been like hot potatoed by 3 people.
Yeah.
That's never happened before. That's never fucking happened in wrestling history. And they did that shit in less than 3 months. So fuck you, NXT, for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way. Fuck you, NXT. Yeah. And then our next match, we got Fallon Henley versus Tiffany Stratton in an Iron Survivor qualifying match. This was a good match. I mean, like, it made Tiffany Stratton. Well, Fallon Henley made Tiffany Stratton, gave her a challenge, and it was a pretty good match. I mean, like, Tiffany Stratton showed off in this match. I honestly, like, I watched the whole match with that. And the results, Tiffany Stratton win by pinfall. Prettiest moonsault ever. She do got a nice moonsault.
She does. She has the moonsault. I can't remember his name exactly, but I've seen a couple people that do the moon, like basically like Ricochet. 2016-17, he would do a beautiful moonsault that rivaled anybody.
Yeah.
And she does it. Now again. Oh yeah, shout out to Alexa Bliss. She would do that too. The problem with the moonsault is the placement.
Yeah.
That's the thing I fear. Like, she'd be like, "Wee," and the person's not placed right, and that's a board of body falling on your ass.
Yeah.
Just be careful. That's all I got to say about that.
And then our next match, why does this keep happening?
Yeah.
Braun Breaker versus Von Wagner. Why does this keep happening? Why?
Before we continue, 2 things happen. Tiffany Stratton won. I'm happy for her.
Mm-hmm.
Final moments, Stratton with a drop kick, Stratton with a rolling senton. Henley is sent into the turnbuckle, and Stratton takes out the leg before hitting the prettiest moonsault ever, like you said. That was a beautiful thing. Mackenzie interviews Wesley, who says he was working so hard and fast as he had to hop off track, but he is back now and is on track. Baron Corbin walks in and says nobody cares. He mocks Lee for quitting. Wes says Lydia Dragovich is going to destroy, but he will be happier if he did it himself. Corbin says he will fail and walks away. And as we said, Braun Breaker's interviewed, and he says this is going to be the shortest comeback in WWE history. Braun Breaker versus Von Wagner. Go on, sir.
Why? That's all I want to say is why. How many times have they do this? Why? He even had. I'm gonna jump to the final results.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker win by a spear. It was a nice ass spear too. Braun Breaker win by a spear. After the match, Von Wagner manager decided to jump in. Von Wagner powerbomb Braun Breaker through the table, and apparently they got another feud. Why?
Because it's a waste of time. They had Braun Breaker is doing nothing for a while. Von Wagner is sent back to the NXT for whatever fucking reason. And if you're gonna bring him up to the main, do it now. Survivor Series is happening. Bring Braun Breaker up, get it done, stop wasting time so other people can shine. This was a waste of a match. You're right.
They should have had, hopefully they still got time to have Braun Breaker in the War Games.
Yes.
Out of nowhere, somebody get hurt, Braun Breaker substituting for one of the heel teams. That'd be dope.
True. I'll give you that.
That'd be dope. Our next match, we got, how do you feel about that? How you feel about Braun Breaker? What you think? Like, shouldn't Braun Breaker be more than where he is?
Yeah, he should have been a long ass time ago. But again, he's not that good on the mic. He's a good wrestler. He's a good standard, Olympian wrestler. That's fine. He's just something about him is not for me. Something about him doesn't make me want to watch him every freaking week. There's something missing, and I don't know what it is. Like Steiner had the momentum, the timing, and the era.
Well, both of them.
Braun Breaker don't got none of those right now. He just doesn't.
Rick and Scott, they both was good wrestling and on the mic. To me, Rick Steiner is better than Scott Steiner. To me,
wrestling, yeah. In wrestling, yeah. In promos, no. Steiner has the ability to say whatever the hell he wants and gets away with it. Again, and it's funny as fuck, and I will go with that every damn time.
And he was always angry for some reason. Like they had an interview with Sid recently, and he was like, the dude was just angry for no reason.
Yeah,
like for no reason. I don't get it, but Rick and Scott need to sit down with Braun Breaker and like give him these promo tips because he still got time.
Yes,
he still got time to be a good wrestler with good promo skills.
By the way, shout out to Sports Jedi Network. I'm gonna have a nice little interview with him on Saturday. Braun is only 25 years old. He grow into his niche. Exactly, he'll grow into it. He's just not ready at the moment as of now. By the way, on Saturday around 1:00. Loki, episode 5 and 6, season review. Go check that out. Season episode review. I'm laughing. Anyway, continue, sir.
Our next match, we got Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice versus Keilani Jordan and Roxanne Perez. I didn't pay attention to this match. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they're doing a lot of mixture.
No, I get that. I got it right here. All right. A video package of a Brawling Brutes plays where they talk about how they came up in the streets. They say OTM will see them face to face next week. Versace Perez music plays, blah, blah, blah. Ariana Grace's music plays, and she comes out and wishes them luck. Electric Lopez attacks Roxanne from behind. She hits a fall-away slam. She tags out Vikes, and Vikes kicks out. Blah, blah, blah. Lola tags in and continues to attack Roxanne. Roxanne with a side Russian leg sweep, which was a good Russian leg sweep. She plants her, cover, 1, 2, 2. Lopez makes the save. Roxanne tags in and attacks Lola. Lopez comes in, but Roxanne drop kicks her and hits the pop rocks. Cool name for a finisher. I'll give you that. She tags out, and Keilani hits the split-legged moonsault for the win. Again, another move that's pretty in picture, but if you land wrong, you're gonna hurt somebody. You don't got who's that girl's name? That's one of the Usos' wives.
Trinity.
Naomi. Yeah.
Naomi.
You ain't got Naomi's ass. So that's not going to cushion her ass. So I'm giving that out. All right. Winner, Roxanne Keilani.
All right, so what do you think Nikita Lyon go do when she come back?
Waste time and do nothing. But eventually she's going to take the belt. Because, again, if they're doing the hot potato route with this fucking NXT belt, she's just going to go – she's going to take it off – either she's going to take it off Lyra – or she's going to take off the person that took it off Lyra. Because I don't think Lyra's going to have it. Lyra's going to have it for maybe a month. Maybe. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, what, it's been about, 2 weeks now?
Yep. Davenport feud. Thank you.
I'm just ready for that to be over with. They need to find a solid champion for these women because it's watered down. The women's championship watered down compared to the women movement Stephanie McMahon made to now. It ain't got watered down. It sucked now. Our next match we got,
You're right.
Yeah, it's watered down. But our next match we got Drew Gulak versus Otis Jazovic.
No, it's just Otis. Just Otis versus Drew Gulak. That's it.
Oh, well, they got it. Okay, I got you. Otis win with a power bomb.
Yeah. Oh, actually, this is only like maybe three paragraphs. That's it. But before, it's really sad for Otis. But before we continue, a video Joe Gacy plays where he says how people around him would judge him. He says that this is how he was built. He says he is his own personal. I have to say this, phrasing it right. He says he is in his own personal hell. He says maybe he knows what to do. Otis for the win. Now, this is going to be really weird for saying this. Kiana James Stratton for qualifying. She says Roxanne can't beat her. She says that they are carrying the division on their backs. She says that it will come down to them at NXT Deadline. JC Jane is back. Please talk about that, D-Walk.
I didn't even pay attention to that, bro.
I got it. Here we go. This is the first time I actually watched NXT, ladies and gentlemen. So I watched everything and read everything and wrote everything.
Wow.
JC Jane is back. That's how determined I am for your show, Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. D Walk. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and comment, share wherever you can. And again, every Wednesday between 5 and 9 p.m. We're trying to figure out the right time frame. We'll figure it out. Now, JC Jane is back. A lady walks in and hands a letter for Andre Chase. She opens it. Chase snatches it and says she shouldn't read other people's mails. Duke walks and asks what are they talking about. JC says that they have a title defense next week. Chase cancels class. Hudson says that they can now focus on next week. What's up next, D-Walk?
Who do you think it is? They got to wrestle.
That is gonna be a main roster team just for like trying to rate for ratings. That's all it is.
He looked kind of terrified when he seen who it was.
That is true. I'll give you that. All right, go on. Next match. We might have a special guest coming in a second.
Got you. Next, I got Dijak versus Tyler Bate in an Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match.
Once again, Tyler Bate, great fan since NXT UK with Pete Dunne. Dijakovic, great fan with the trio matches that they had with Keith Lee. Bangers, ladies and gentlemen. Look it the fuck up. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah. I don't understand. They should have kept Dijak. What was his name before? Dijak?
Dijakovic.
They should have kept him like that because, like you said, him and Keith Lee had hell of matches together.
Yeah.
But for a tall dude and for a big dude to wrestle like that, man, that was some amazing wrestling. And for Keith Lee to be able to win the Northern American title and the World NXT title, Dijak, she should have won one too.
True. And again, Sports Jedi Network, I sent you the link. Check your messenger. You can come in whenever you want. But again, this was a great match, a great back and forth. I got it right here. No, that's not it. Here we go. Bate with a superplex. Bate goes with the pop and bang out. Dijak hits him with a choke slam cover. 2 count. Kick out. Bate with the airplane spin cover. Boom. Kick out. 2. Bate. This is a very short match. Bate with a clothesline cover. Kick out. Bate goes for a German suplex, but Dijak lands on his feet and kicks Bate in the face, which was fucking nasty.
Yeah.
Cover. Kick out. Bate goes for a dive, but Dijak catches him and hits the feast your eyes for the win. Damn. And before we go to the next thing, Dijak won. Trick Williams arrives at the arena. And before I continue, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest, a man who needs no introduction because, well, he kind of does. BX Sports Jedi Kevin Network in the scene. Let's go.
What's up, everyone? What's going on, Dennis? Pleasure to meet you there. You're talking something that's dear and dear to my heart is NXT. As I live in Orlando. I attend the NXT program. I go there live on Tuesday night. So we're talking you're speaking my language. So let's go for it, baby. Thank you, Alex, for letting me on.
Of course, man. We'll see each other on Saturday. We're talking about Loki. But before we continue, now we've already talked up until the main event, which was Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. What was your thoughts on the episode so far up until this point, Kevin?
Last night with NXT, from watching it from the transition to 2.0 to what it is now, the storytelling is very intriguing because at the end of the night, there's also stories or cliffhangers that wants you to tune in next week. And when a wrestling show does that, regardless of the fact that they're cooking on something, they're cooking with gas, they're intriguing your thoughts there. From Chase University, what's in that letter, to what's next for the Alpha Academy, what's that metaphor? Each week they keep evolving, and some people might not like the Heritage Cup matches, but there's a story being told with metaphor. They're finding their niche there. Who is metaphor through that Heritage Cup and who they are in NXT as a group. There's also what's next for Ava Raine. Why did she go into Shawn Michaels' office? What is going on with her? Because she's a wrestler with her own island. She's looking for her islands of relevancy. And see what I did there. Also, you also wants to find out what's going on with Joe Gacy. Is getting repackaged. What is his character evolving? What is next after this feud with Von Wagner for Braun Breaker? I know you're touching someone dear and dear to me because I'm gonna say it straightforward. I am a Braun Breaker mark. I mean, I met Brunson. Brunson is just one of the dopest dudes around, and maybe my personal getting to know him clouds my judgment with that. But I digress. Everything from NXT from it was 2 years ago to now leaps and bounds, and that's what you want to see on a wrestling company week in week out to grow. And I'm excited for it. And now, like you said, I do wish they had some clarity with the women's NXT title, but they're looking for the ladies to step up. I could tell you, I'm going to give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain, knowing some people and what happened in the NXT with the women's title. Tiffany Stratton kind of got punished, and not literally, because she went out there and she botched her mouth by saying that Becky Lynch was an NXT champion when she wasn't, not knowing your history of the title, prestige title that you're holding, kind of worked in the WWE favor because they kind of were teaching her a lesson. But Becky came down, and you saw how the ratings exploded. The ratings went through the roof for her coming in, and they made something negative out of something positive there. And I don't know if Tiffany's going to rekindle or take that title back. And I agree with you, Dennis. The hot potato with the NXT Women's title after Mandy Rose. But people were getting, and I'll tell you one thing, from people in the NXT world, inside they were getting a little fed up with Randy holding the title because there was nothing wild about her title reigns either. So we could go back and forth on that. So I wanted to hear your thoughts on that as well.
Go on, D-Walk.
My thoughts. Like you said, you're right. I mean, the hot potato thing with the women title, they need to have one solid champion. I mean, can you give me 3 names you could see that could carry that belt and not lose it, and know like they actually could wrestle and wrestle good matches and good people? Can you give me 3 names?
Currently, right now on the roster, without any injury, it was supposed to be Roxanne. I thought she got pushed that world title a little too quick, especially what happened with the Onis fans with Mandy. That wasn't the game plan. Roxanne, something happened personal life that caused her to take away that title. They played the injury angle. We weren't to give her her own privacy, and of course, something happened that's why she wasn't the women's title. Nothing negative, just couldn't right that moment hold on to that woman's title. So they had like they say, show business, the show must go on. Of course, we saw her back again and wrestle in a couple of weeks, but that we'll leave it at that. Things outside of the wrestling business happen. With the women title right now, they're grooming one of the most hardworking women wrestler that's in there night in, night out, and from morning to night, busting her rear end. And the only thing is she's got to get better in the promo. Maybe that's why they put Elektra Lopez next to her as kind of a mouthpiece, but Lola Vice could cut a promo herself. She's working her butt off to try to separate herself of the pack for the women's title. But she's not there yet because she's only got 1 full year in the business. And I know you could say, well, Braun was only months when he beat Ciampa for the world title, and yeah, but you see what we're talking about Braun right now. They still need more seasoning. They still need more seasoning with his promo skills, and he's getting there. He's working there. With Lola, she needs more seasoning speaking on the mic. Although she could cut a good promo, she doesn't have an accent. She speaks good English, and she likes to bring that Latin flavor to her character. That's one wrestler. Another one that kind of was up in the ranks, but injuries derailed her, and it's not Nikita Lyons, is actually Sola Ruca. Sola Ruca caught us all by storm with that devastating move that she came out of. I forgot the name of it, where she just came out of the corner and just hit you with a reverse RKO, and my goodness. And she was getting momentum with the crowd in NXT, and of course Tiffany Stratton. But Tiffany, for her own admission, that's what her needs working. Getting on the microphone and talking to a live crowd in a promo and cutting promos back and forth on the spot. Not few people have that. You saw why Grayson Waller is no longer in NXT, because that dude is like a sharp knife. I mean, he is like this, man. I had encounters with Grayson Waller one-on-one in a house show, and he was fast. And I'm the only one that he did not get to burn too much because I was very smart and with it. But Waller shakes people. He leaves people with deers in the headlights. I've seen people get shook in the crowd. He has told people, he's an observant dude. He told this guy, "You wear the same damn jersey every week. You got no money for no clothes, dude." I mean, he just comes out like this. He shakes people. That's what they need. One thing they do, they're teaching people in the NXT how to cut those promos and
Mm-hmm.
go quick. But it depends on their hard work. And another female that I want that you said who could be up there, I thought, but it's not what maybe now with Chase U, maybe JC Jane, because she's got all the mannerisms of a heel.
Mm-hmm.
But what hurt JC, in my opinion, the feud with Gigi Dolan, they just couldn't click. That
Mm-hmm.
whole feud did not click. They did not have no chemistry in the ring. They couldn't. It was like you ladies were tag teams. What happened? That whole feud stunk. And I wish NXT would have held on. I don't know what's the story with Mika Saramoda. Would have been a nice champion to give it some touch of class and respect as a champion and an obstacle. I wish they would have went with the Mika route as the women's champion, but they didn't do it. So to ask your question, I think it's going to be honest with you, that third lady is Thea Hale. 19-year-old Thea Hale. I think she's the one that could really be a surprise, but she's got to get, and I was hoping they were getting away from that Chase U gimmick because I think it's kind of corny. All it is to get the crowd riled up because, and I give you another insight. Those that sit with the Chase U, those are wrestlers. Those are very green wrestlers that they sit amongst us to be the cheering section in Chase U.
Yeah, that was deep. What you just said. That was deep. I like that.
And
But
that's
so,
why
what do you?
go on.
So, where do you see Nikita Lyon when she come back? What do you think? Like, you think her getting hurt, it paused everything for her, or with her pushing everything, or you thinking she could come back and you think they gonna move her to the main roster, or is she gonna be NXT champion, women's champion?
That's a very interesting one with Nikita because I don't know and I'm trying to find out. Am I getting information from find out what does the agents, the bookers, the coaches from Finley to Norman Smiley to Bloom, what did they think of her in ring and her work ethic? I'm not saying nothing negative about Nikita Lyon. No. It all depends on her work ethic. She's close to getting back from her injury from that ACL.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if that's going to limit her with her wrestling move because not for nothing, Carmen Petrovich seems like a thinner version of Nikita Lyons with the sword, with the karate gimmick,
Mm-hmm.
the spinning back kick. But the minute Nikita Lyons goes through that current, that crowd is going to pop.
Yeah.
Because there is a group of us that know Nikita, know Faith outside of the performance center. Very likable lady. You've seen her you see her Twitter feed and stuff, and so forth. She's a very nice person. She's sweet. But business is business. When she gets there, she's gonna have that crowd at least on her side and get excited and get the fan reaction and get the pop that she needs. She was supposed to win the women's breakout tournament. The injury happened. She had to drop out. We all saw what happened. We saw Roxy won, and it was Tiffany was born out of an injury. When Nikita, when she returns, I think she does have that. And doesn't hurt for her to stay. There's no rush to take her to the main roster because you have Jade Cargill, you have Kerry Singh coming into the company. You might have Gala from New Japan come into WWE to the main roster. There's no rush for her. Nikita's still young. She's still marketable. You're going to the CW network. Remember now, that's something also that's going to play now. There's going to be more free TV, more eyeballs to the product. She's very young, beautiful, marketable. You could have her be a female face of the NXT. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think they'll hold her. I think they'll hold her there. Of course, everybody's goal that wants to go to the main roster, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think with the CW contract, it's nothing to write home about being part of the NXT world because you could see now that the main roster comes to NXT to wrestle, and now we're starting to see some of the NXT talent that's ready go to the main roster to wrestle either on main event. Now the Creed brothers signed with Raw, and now they go up. They're phenomenal. Another group there, you're gonna love them on the main roster if you haven't seen the Creed brothers. I was surprised that Ivy Now went up. I thought Ivy Now didn't really separate herself as a women's wrestler to warrant that. And I kind of feel a little bummed out because when Legado Fantasma went up with Santo Escobar and Rakim and Cruz, they should have took Electra with her. They should have took Electra, but then you took Ivy Niles. It's kind of sent a little bit of a mixed message. I know I said too much there, but I just wanted to bring that point up.
Thank you. That was wow. That was dope. That was real explained and everything. But we'll kick off our main event. We see Trick Williams come out to the. We see Carmelo Hayes come out to the ring. Then we see Trick Williams come out. We see Trick Williams ask some questions on who did it and why did you do it. Then we have Brian Pillman Jr., aka Alexis King, come out to the ring and instigate it. And it gets to a point where Trick, he swings on Alexis King and punches Carmelo. The part I hated though was they could have did something way better than that. So is it gonna be like a mystery thing? Is it Alexis King gonna be the one that snitched and said Carmelo did it? I mean, because the promo Carmelo did, it made it seem like unbelievable, like he didn't do it. You my dog, like, bro, why would I want to do it? But I just don't get how they would put somebody else into it instead of, like, you remember how when Shawn Michaels approached Triple H about throwing his head through the window, and it came out and it showed Triple H actually doing it. Why don't they do nothing like that? But they just, to me, they kind of ruining it, this thing, because this could be something special. What made Alexis King come out of nowhere and just intervene in the promo? No.
I'm still puzzled on that Dennis, because I'm like, which direction are we going? Because you know what that showed me? That they by having a little writer's remorse. Remember when Stax a couple of months ago, when he was feuding with Gallus and Tony D'Angelo got locked up, and it made it seem like Stax was the one that was the rat to have Tony D'Angelo get fired. I mean, in jail, and then they switched it. Like it was it's a double. It was like, I hope it kind of smells like that. Like they're rewalking it or reworking it with Alexi King. Although I did have someone in my chat on the live stream said, I think that's Alexi King that did that there. I thought it was Wesley first and foremost, because it's out of the blue. Wesley wasn't seen on TV for a while. He did leave bitter and upset, and seeing Trick Williams leapfrog him for an opportunity. And I thought it was that, but it wasn't. I'm like you. I usually could sniff these things out, or the storyline wise, and when it comes to Trick and Mello, I don't know what they're gonna do. Let me ask you this: Are you intrigued in seeing them go one-on-one in a match between Carmelo and Trick? I personally say no.
No. Well, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, it'd be something different. I mean, like this would be the first time they wrestled each other. It'd be something new that I haven't seen. Like, you know how a lot of these wrestlers, they wrestle 5-6 times. This would be something new.
All right. I don't know if that's. I'm torn because again, it's for other reasons. But to see them go, I'm like, you didn't have to see Big E and Kofi Kingston go out to one another. You didn't have to see Big E or Xavier Woods or Xavier Woods and Kofi go one-on-one with each other. You didn't see Tony Blanchard and Arn Anderson. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alex. If they ever wrestled one another in a feud, I might be wrong there because
they did. They did.
Okay, all right. Yeah. That's why I ask you, because you know more of the NWA a little more than myself there. But my point is, not every major group or facet has to go with one-on-one. They could work together and have individual success and still be a collective group. I was hoping they would go that route, but if they go at it, and I love Carmelo Hayes. He could talk on the mic. He's got the look, but I think Trick Williams checks the box of what a WWE superstar. At 6'5", 240 pounds, and he's quick with that tongue as well. Cuts a promo. He's also charismatic and hilarious. It's like, I don't want Carmelo to fall back on Trick if they do wrestle, especially if they go at each other with promos. Carmelo's going to look a little not too small, big next to Trick, and I think and also what I've heard, WWE doesn't want Trick to overshadow Carmelo until Carmelo goes to the main roster. So maybe maybe they do have a match where a stipulation where Carmelo has to leave, similar to what where Tony D'Angelo got rid of Ciampa and so forth. Maybe that's in the works. I don't know. I'm puzzled. I'm puzzled with that. I don't know what direction they're going there. I was hoping NXT Unanimous would have just cut the feed on the TV on the big Titantron and showed what happened. I was waiting for that. I was like, where? Okay, out of all the time when we want to see NXT Unanimous, where the hell is he with the video footage? It's like that was the perfect opportunity there, and then it could go off the air with that. And but Alexi King, I think he's just trying to find his niche there, with that triangle there. But I like the presentation of Brian Pillman Jr. so far with his entrance, and but I gotta see more when it comes to what happened yesterday night. Okay, you left me like in limbo. I want to know a little more. Yeah,
I mean, like I said, this is second appearance. I mean, like, why would they put him in something like this? And then, like I said, on the other hand, you right too. I'd rather see Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams go for the tag team titles, or do what Triple H and Undertaker, man, do what Triple H and Stone Cold did. They had all the belts and everything. I'd rather see them do that in NXT, but I don't know what they doing. I mean, like, it's just weird. But then before it went off, Trick Williams helped Carmelo up and they hugged, but then you looked in Carmelo's eyes and it was like that. I'm gonna get you back. Like, you know what I mean? They shouldn't even. But if they do wrestle, it's go whoever win and whoever lose, it wouldn't matter, and it's gonna hurt one. It's gonna hurt both of them. It's gonna hurt both of them more than anything.
True. I want to chime in on this because I love the presentation. D-Walk. Make sure everyone to like, subscribe, share, comments, and check out BX Sports Jedi Kev's channel and down below on YouTube. Great guy, great channel. Covers everything sports related. If it's sports, he got you. Now, with this, I wanted to like elaborate on the Big E, Kobe Kingston, and Xavier Woods. You are right. They should never fight each other, but only if all of them had accomplishments and then their egos would make a good storyline. Again, Kofi won the belt. Xavier won King of the Ring. Big E won the belt. If at any point Big E was healthy enough to do it again, it would be a good storyline where one person says, well, I did this, and I did this, and it would just fester. Grow slowly until we get into only in a Royal Rumble. That's the only place you can do this. At a Royal Rumble, Woods, Kingston, Big E, right off the bat. And that would be a good match. That makes sense. The thing with Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes is that Trick Williams is too damn hot right now. Way too hot. But Booker T ironically made him explosive for that damn add-ons. And he does it every week too, which makes it even worse for everybody else. I say Carmelo Hayes has to go up. You're right. Loser leaves NXT. He goes up. Let Trick Williams stay at NXT for like 6 months. Be like the Johnny Gargano of NXT. Really be the leader. Really be the guy to show off, show his skills, and then let Carmelo Hayes do his own thing, sink or swim in the main roster. Because like it or not, Trick Williams, the second he comes to WWE, like officially, and they'll probably do this after Raw, it's going to blow up. It's going to blow the fuck up, and that thing's going to go on a wave of why is everyone saying whoop that trick? Why is Booker T in the background? Why is Booker T with a microphone saying what? Which I'm waiting for him to that. I'm waiting for him to do that.
Yeah.
MC in the background. That's it.
So, I like it.
Exactly. So this match should happen, but this should be a kind of like a Ciampa Gargano match. 45 minutes, bloody the hell up. No rules, fall count everywhere, and that's it. Conclusive. However, if Lexis King gets inside and does this little chicanery, you don't need to. You don't need that. And I know why they're doing it. Because they want to boost the rocket for Lexis King. Like, they want to. Like, oh, everyone knows he's Brian Pillman Jr., but we don't want to do the whole 6-7 matches, jobber thing. You don't need to do that shit. You don't. You just need to put him on something and put him on the rocket. Bad idea with these two guys, but it's creative. That's my thoughts on it.
Alex, let me ask you, and Dennis, if that's that match between Melo and Trick with their popularity should be on a stand and deliver. And they're kind of ways away from that. But maybe this is a diversion of storytelling to trying to push the narrative back there where, if that was the case, I would have liked Trick to guy and more staying off to 2024 with that injury, with concussion. and then you could still kind of still delay it a little bit, because I believe before Stand Deliver, after Deadline, there's 2 more pay-per-views, Vengeance and I think maybe one more, or a Tuesday night, one of those Tuesday night specials for NXT, and then it's Stand and Deliver, Valentine Day Massacre, or whatever the case is. I would have liked them to push that a little bit, and then you would have gave Trick and Melo, if they were going to go in that match there. Also, I wanted to go point there with it's a Rumble. Like, they should fight in a Rumble. I think they should do that with Imperium. They do not need to break them up either. If they want to tease that they don't like each other, or a little bit dissension, let them be 1 and 2, or 11 and 15, or 11 and 12 at the Rumble, where they're only empty and they got to see each other and they go at it. And then, you get that out of your system. I don't need to see Imperium break up either, because let's face it, Giovanni's a good individual wrestler. I've seen him in NXT wrestle when he was repackaged. Good individual, but there's no charisma or microphone. And I think Kaiser as well. But together with Imperium as all 3 members, they work. So I don't know what's the big rush of trying to separate Imperium. That's why I thought maybe that was being forced here with Trick and Melo. And also, when Trick makes the main roster, you got to really try to get him in Memphis, man. Make his debut in Memphis, because you talk about the rocket ship. Whoo,
you have to.
And
if not Memphis, in Atlanta, if not Atlanta, in Texas, any one of those 3 places. And even better, if you do it in Texas, where Booker T literally comes out as the MC, that's his hometown, and Trick is trained in Texas, that's all you need. From Texas, it goes all the way to Canada, Chicago, New Jersey. That's what I'm saying. They found something with Trick Williams, and it's something that if they do it right, he can skyrocket into the championship. He could be the next Seth Rollins, a la WrestleMania. Find the right moment and the right if they do this right. And I think you made a good point, Kevin. They're not going to give us the match between Trick and Carmelo. They're going to tease us this, and Lexus King is going to be the linchpin to postpone it until the Rumble. It makes sense. You better not do this shit on Deadline. Makes no damn sense. Wait until February where it makes sense. That's all I got to say about that.
No, I agree with you there. And by the way, if you haven't checked it out, please check out Trickin' Ain't Easy. That is a comedy sketch from Trick Williams himself. All those actors that are part of Trickin' Ain't Easy is on his YouTube channel. All friends of ours, friends of us that go to NXT. He used the people from the crowd. I believe season 2 is coming up. DJ Leprechaun, a good friend of mine, shout him out from Let Me Talk to You podcast, a good friend of mine, John. And maybe when they pick up season 2, I might have a cameo on there. So I just wanted to throw me a cheap plug there. So I can't wait to be in that part of there for season 2 and Trick and Ain't Easy with Trick Williams. I spent New Year's Eve on a party with Trick and awesome dude. I can't wait for him to get that exposure all over and the world, because again, that's why I hope they debut him, like you said, Houston with MC with Booker T. Atlanta, actually he's from South Carolina, but no, he's from South Florida. He went to school in South Carolina. He was a former South Carolina football player from South Florida, or here in Orlando, where all our friends and family will all go and drove, and we show that's why it's like maybe we should go here or in Tampa, where we show how to cheer for Trick and go crazy and mark out him a little over zealous, so then the cameras could show and then they could see what the whoop the Trick goes. But I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with Trick Williams, and I hope they do it in Stand and Deliver, because it's worth it, and I can't wait for that, and hopefully they use my promo like they did last year for Stand and Deliver for Braun and Carmelo. I was part of the promo package. If you watch Stand and Deliver, look at when he goes bomb breaker all day. He's the future. They used my thing before the main event with my friend Terrence, and we marked out. We went to the house show and they used it, and we're on the Peacock, and I'm doing a watch along, and it's me. Oh my god! And I marked out. So yeah, I was so happy with that. I hope they use me again this year.
That's dope.
Yeah, that was cool.
So
thank you. Go on, D-Walk.
No, I didn't want none.
Any final thoughts on NXT? D-Walk?
BX, what's you the guest? What's your thoughts?
Well, my final thoughts. This show was good. This show, it checked the box there with the storytelling. This is what you want. Again, not to sound like a redundant, but when I came in, that's what you want. You want the storyline. You want to know what's next. what's the deal now with Adriana Grace retaliate on Carmen Petrovich for embarrassing her knocking off a chair? You know, there's every segment left with what's next. You know, what's gonna happen next week. I need to tune in to find out. Zion Lee showing up on NXT with Laura Valkyria. Now will Laura Valkyria show up to Monday Night Raw and into taunt the Asaya Lee? There's so many different questions and so many. I gotta watch this. I gotta watch that. I wish they would have left us something to like a cliffhanger to want to watch SmackDown. Although SmackDown doesn't need it for NXT involvement whatsoever because they have their own storyline, you know, because we have to find out the aftermath of Crown Jewel. But at the end of the day, I liked what NXT did there. They're compelling, their storytelling now when the in-ring is catching up to the storytelling. So stock up in 2023. I think NXT, and we still got a couple of weeks before 23 finish, their year has been a revival, a refreshing climb to success for NXT, and I'm for it. You know, I'm excited for it. I'm happy for those kids because they work their butts off. I mean, they're there at 6:30 in the morning training and Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday, you know, and then they do house shows all over Florida, you know, from Saturday and Sunday, Friday and Saturday nights, all over from all different part of the country driving. So those kids are working their butts off, and it's showing. And I'll keep cheering. They get my cheers all the time.
Nice. Same. Wow, you didn't throw a curveball at me, BX, and you make me think about NXT a lot more. Thank you. I like to have you on my guest. I like to have you as my guest another time, or 10 or 100 more times.
And anytime you would like to come on the Heal the Ring with me there, when I do the NXT watch on the pay-per-views, the premium live events, all you have to do, you know, I used to give you all my information, email and stuff. You're more than glad to come on the premium live event with myself and with Terrence. We there, you know, we attend and we could tell you something, and even outside the program's over, you know, stuff about it and how fun it is. And I advise you, ever come to Orlando, you know, same with Alex, let us know. We'll go with you to NXT. We'll it's free. It signs up. We'll tell you how to go through the whole process. We'll go with you there. We love going there and show you and how fun it really is. It's intimate, but it's a fun atmosphere. The crowd, the and you're gonna see the wrestling in a different aspect because when you're watching the Pizza Hut commercials and the Domino's, when you're in the arena, you're actually interacting with some of these wrestlers. You're actually taking photos. You're having a conversation like we're speaking with them. With Indy Hartwell, who is and another inside, who was the people's champion in NXT. When we don't see her in commercial break, you talk to them, they talk to you. They're very interactive. They're very friendly. And house shows, forget it. You pretty much could just forget it. It's like you could pretty much almost exchange information with them because they're so friendly, and because they're us like us, they're living their dream, and they're appreciative of us watching them. So I always tell people, go check it out. If you go and spend a week in Orlando and you're spending a bunch of money at the Mouse or at Harry Potter, this is not going to cost you nothing. Take out a Tuesday and visit NXT because it is worth it for the price of admission. Not only that, for the entertainment. And you're gonna meet some good people there. So I always am there. You know, that NXT when we had John Cena and LA Knight, I was all night there. I had the referee shirt. If you watch it again, the guy with the referee shirt in the front, it was myself. You know, with John Cena and John Cena, every time there was a 2 count, John Cena would point, referee, two. It is fun. I was right by Booker T. It was oh my God. I thought I was gonna explode that night when all those wrestlers from Cody and all. I was like. My wife just was like, you must be in heaven. You must, you know, you better check yourself. Or make sure the will is signed, you know. So, but it was fun. I tell you, you gotta go. You gotta go there. It's fun. I tell everyone. Sometimes check it out one time live in the arena. And I understand the premium live events. That's what I miss. That they take the premium live events away from the road. I was at Worlds Collide. You know, in Worlds Collide, my God, that was the best pay-per-view with Ricochet and Carmelo Hayes. That match was, I mean, you saw it on TV. No, you had to be there in person. It's electrifying, that match. My God, that was like, whew. The Mika Suramura entrance when we were all part of it with the confetti. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, I could spend another 10 to 30 minutes just marking out on how fun it was. But I tell everyone, check it out. Go there, and it's going to be fun. And I think they're going to get even better now for the CW, the camera and so forth, it's going to be even greater. One fear I do have, though, they're going to get so big that they might be like Monday Night Raw and SmackDown go on the road Tuesday nights, and we're going to lose that atmosphere or even the crowd popping because they're not going to know who these folks are. And I'm afraid that if they do that, sometimes some of the crowd might sit on their hands like Pittsburgh, and that worries me.
That's dope. That's dope. I look forward more to talking with you. And like I said, yeah, we gonna be in each other podcast. Thank you, BX. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Invisible Man, thank you. Appreciate you for being a guest, another guest.
Of course, man. Of course.
You
Always.
ready?
And remember, Thursday, tomorrow not at 5 o'clock, around 7 o'clock, PWF presents Wrestling Talk. We're gonna talk about AEW, WWE. We might have Hot Mook Summer come in tomorrow. So that's fingers crossed. That's a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. If you know who that person is. Stay healthy, stay happy, and always remember, wrestling is about love, life, screaming, happiness, crying, punching the pillow, and pissing off John Cena because he's a lazy ass wrestler. Good night.